This is 9A40.12, enforcement of orders restricting contact. Any general authority in Western peace officer defined as RCW 10.93.02. State many enforced chapter relates to the orders restricted on the orders restricting defensibility have contact with victims or others. These enforcements of traffic and conditions of sentence, restricted contacts, no contact orders, entries or orders into computer-based criminal intelligence information systems. This offender is found guilty in criminal trafficking under RCW 9A.40.100. Conditions of sentence, restricted defensibility and contact with victims. Conditions, record of written certified copies of orders must provide in victims of clerk. Copy, court clerk, and notaries of the republics for restitution hearings are provided on these victims of clerks, copy courts. Only violation court orders issued under section punishable RCW 26.50110. Directors shall bear violations of criminal offenses under chapter 26.50 RCW. Violators subjects will be arrested and result in drive-by shooting, and reckless and dangerous that's in violating these orders and felonies for instance and processing information that are contained on the 9A40.10 traffic conditions. Non-contact orders are issued under section clerk shall refer to the copy order and before next use of date appropriate law enforcement agency specify an order upon receipt of copy of order. Law enforcement shall enter the order for 1 year until the expiration date specified under computer-based criminal intelligence information systems available in the state used by law enforcement agencies. List outstanding warrants entry computer-based criminal investigation intelligence information system constitutes law enforcement agencies existing in the order fully enforceable in jurisdiction in the state of Washington. Upon receipt of notice of the order terminating the law enforcement agency shall remove order from computer-based criminal intelligence information system. trafficking conditions and restricted contact orders, entries, orders into the computer-based criminal intelligence information systems. Defendant found guilty of these crimes, criminal intelligence information systems. Trafficking under RCW 9A.40100, condition of sentence restricts the defendant's ability to have contact with the victim. Trafficking court may prohibit defendant's contact with victim. No contact order issuance and termination, no modification, entries, orders into computer-based criminal intelligence information system. Trafficking court appearance, contact orders, entries, order computer-based criminal intelligence information. This is 9.96, 9.96.07. Misdemeanor and gross misdemeanor offenses. Person convicted in prostitution, committing offenses resulting in being victim of trafficking, promoting prostitution, first degree, promoting commercial sexual abuse of a minor, trafficking persons, violating certain statute ruling regard, regulation of fishing, vacancy records, and domestic violence records. Soliciting, prostituting, and also arbitrating open containers, alcohol containers, selling drugs, up to drugs to minors, and minor possession, minor MCs, MICs, MIPs, while driving instrument equipment at age 15 and 15 and a half. And violated for the first time, you are with a driver's license until you're at age 18. On promoting prostitution, first degree, promoting prostitution, first degree, promoting commercial sexual abuse of minors and other minors. Trafficking in persons violating the statute of ruling regarding regulation of fishing, vacated record domestic. Every person convicted of the misdemeanor gross misdemeanor offense completing or complying or dealing with all the terms of sentence, misdemeanors and gross misdemeanors, offenses and sentencing guideline vacancy of record violations. A discretion of vacant records convictions on premeditated and permitting these withdrawal acts of pleading guilty enter these plea guilties. If not pleading guilty, this option convicted of plead guilty and sentence and verdicts of the guilty, dismissing information and adequate complaints and citations against applicants and judgment and sentences that are applicable to the concurrent or consecutive sentences to your sentencing guidelines for pleading guilty. Vacating records of convictions of prostitution offenses. These orders vacate record conviction prostitutes offenses. These are prostitute offenses are CW 9.96.06 in parentheses as number 3 as the result of being victim trafficking RC 9A.40.100. The applicant approves such elements by pre-respondent of the evidence, respondent and co-defendant and defendant, and also jury box selection for plea and not guilty or guilty. These series continue and supersede subjects on school sanctuary gross progress policies. Tuition waiver graduate students are required to qualify these subsections. The recipients receive under subsections 10 full-time, part-time total credits earned during these homeless acts. Require these tuition fees and subsections affect the provisions of waivers. Tuition fees and subsections. Private vocational school, private higher education students were encouraged to provide the waivers consistent terms and these actions for the definitions between guilty and not guilty of these charges. This court vacates the records of domestic violence defined RCW 10.99.02 under the section of state vacant criminal prostitutes unless the convicted was violating the provisions of restraining orders and contact or protection orders, restraining orders in general for restraining persons are going to the grounds and residencies, workplaces, also property lines that they ownerships that they own on the first and last name on the services on the memo knowingly remaining within specified locations. RCWs 10.99.04, 10.99.050, 26.09.30, 26.10.22, 26.26.138, 26.44.063, 2644.150, 26.50.060, 26.50.07, also 26.50.130, 26.52.070, 274.34.145, or stalking. RCW 9A.46110. The vacated and convicted under section considered convicted such offenses, which be 27 CFR 478.11. All costs incurring court probation services and paid services presume make a motion vacancy. These records on determination may be pursued in Chapter 10.101 RCW. Person making promotion indigent at the time by motion brought. Known for the fact that the individual is not indigent and never was indigent. Failed to meet school district policies and excuse absences. You comply in alternate learning expectations program 10 requirements described by the superintendent's of instructions. You can see each child transferred from school districts and during school years will receive a school district shall include unexpected absent accumulated on provision of skills firms and grievances. All these individuals threatened with body harm are CW 288225.030, 28.225. Bunch of habitual drug and alcoholics and strip joints and rehabilitation. Individuals are supposed to be in the area when the background checks and conducted around his computer systems.
They using a lot of x-rays on those trucks. We got to keep our trade going to Mexico just as well. So how's the Navy treating you?
You need something, sir? Trump. Your property. 1923.30 authority conduct examination, investigation, concur in guilty pleas, and also the judge and administration officers, his bailiffs and her services, bookies, accounts, and records, report recollection reports, and files information used in business effort, license, authorized delegates, very impersonating officer, impersonating bailiff, impersonating family members and beneficiaries for in your homes and the services they provide in all the agencies. This is the Adoption Module Ordinance Development Committee mandatory provisions city ordinance registration process. These cities work through the Associated Washington State Cities, Wyoming Secretary of State, which is Frederick Courthouse, and also George Washington House. This George Washington has the houses has the committee and made representative sample, and as you see, Miss Lola Hernandez on the wall. All Indians don't lack black minorities, any white people in his services, or in the ordinances and his services. The cremators in the backyard, and also the burial and the services for George Washington, Orange General NATO owners at the door in the bay, and the services they condemn and examination, vaccination services. The discovery violations chapter rules adopted under chapter discovery, and all these amendments are unsafe and unsafe ground practice secure information law required under this chapter. Directory may be in the time personally or just assign, investigate, examine business. However, locate books, accounts, and records, papers, document files on them for use in business for every licensed authorized delegates. Money services when this person claims to act with the authority of this chapter. For these two persuasion purposes, directory and designee representatives shall have the free access to office place in their business books, accounts, papers, documents, and information records and files in safe and vaults, such as person director and directory designee requires the tendency of the examined under oath. All persons whose testimony be required about this business and subject matter, any investigation examined hereby requires such as persons and produce books, accounts, papers, document, records, files, and any information directly assigned and declares as relevant in inquiry. Declare and require the probation and production, which is no probationary or any parole, any records or any abstract records, driver license, within minors and juvenile records, any point systems in the federal court system and its file systems does not show on annual report or pays Mr. Ken Murray, Secretary of State, sitting here and penetrating in the services of the deal with the engaging in these money services and laundering services from the front. George Washington House here in Fredo, Washington, and also Pasco, Washington, and Spokane, Washington, which is the Madison House, and that's Jane Madison's house, and George Washington's house that I sit in. The Securities Investment Securities in Washington and George Washington, the Act of Washington, the small occurring exemption annual reports, disqualification provision rules are repealed. 21.20.883, 21.20.886, and 21.20.880. Small security offering exemptions and reports disqualification provisions rules, and he's offered sale security exempt for RCW 21.20.040 through 21.20.330, 300, and 21.20.337 as expressly provided. Issuer first file every directory, and the directory dealer declares an offering exempt. Offering conducting orders with absolute exemption registration under Securities Act 1933. Issuer intending to do business in state Washington files and directory and escrow agreement providing offer proceeding released. An issue in agreement or capital raised from an investor equals exceeds a minimum target offering as determined by the directory. Active purchase and price and securities and sold in issue and pursuing exempt provided sections does exceed $1 million during a 12-month period. UBI number 677-6027297. That's, of course, Mr. Leviat and Leviat, which is Todd Levitt. That's the Miller's Jewelry here in Moses Lake, Washington. Aggravated amount system income investor is an accredited investor is defined under the securities in 1993. More shares during the 12-night period a preceding date of sale does not exceed. The interest rate of the fees of sale of pledged property, and these services that we have, or interest on loan period shall extend. For the loans of 9.99, interest rate is $1 for the 30-day period. The $10 amount to $19.99, interest rate is $1.25 for the 30-day period. For any amount at $20 to $24.99, interest rate is $1.50 for each 30-day period to include. The amount loaned for $25 to $34.99, the rate is $1.75 for 30 days. Anything at 30 days will charge you tax for $1.75. Any precious metal services, diamonds, white gold, gold, and also platinum, which is removed out of all California ordinances for the OSHA ordinances, as the platinum is removed for the out of the distributor and processing unit for the emissions of California ordinances and vehicles. This business purchasing and selling product, assignment selling product, is used as platinum, precious metal. Second-hand precious metal can be considered by swaps and seizures, and gold, silver, platinum coins, and precious metal that can be melted down and used as a precious metal value, put into the vault, and also the platinum and other precious metals, billings, and also the belly clubs and handcuffs, and also the bullets be melted down and put into a gold, silver, platinum, precious metal vault, and flakes and nuggets. The militia aquifers of 3852 George Washington House here in Prairie, Washington, Pasco, Kennewick, and also don't forget that by Spokane. This mercy manages his local organization established operating mercy power, persuasion, and communication plans. Which plain statutory report, life safety information, disaster response unit, which is George Washington House. This is 38.52.010, 38.52.070, 38.52.073, 38.52105 disaster response. Liability of property damage, bodily harm, death, immunity, assumption, stay immunity, in the body bag that you were put in, because in front of me, in front of the public, and lowered in the casket in the back and front yard is 38.52.1080, 38.52.180, 38.52.440, 38.52.580. Liability property damage, bodily death, and immune service assumption, state and immunity for liability and recovery volunteer assistance person that has disability presents some mercy assessment report definitions. State agency commit plan of mercy and disaster copy of legislative report 38.52.010 uses in the chapter communication plan, which is RCW, and the 38.52.070. Currently operating plan means in the effort to organize, ensure, and capability exists and continue essential functions in response to a comprehensive array of potential emergency and disasters. Department means the military department director means the adjutant general emergency management comprehensive emergency management preparation carrying out their emergency functions for their military force and primarily responsible for the military prepare response recovery emergency disasters and aid. As all the property calls, the no units, no response 911 will be called. You will just be executed on the spot and processed and sent on your way. Military force and primary responsible for disaster and victims suffering in these injuries would be paid in full, and we would be cast out and processed in the disaster caused by that hazard. Department means, in the state military department director means an adjustment general. It means the processing for the response. That's RCW 38.52.430, 38.52430, 38.52.430. Now, the department means the state military department director means the emergency means management covers emergency management preparation. In carrying out these emergency functions for the military force, primary responsible military, prepare the response to recovery emergencies, damage resulting from disaster caused by all hazards, whether natural or technology, human caused, any UFO or unflying object or alien coming off the UFO and walking on the property, and in these services are suffering and any damage is done resulting would be in full amount. The human caused by this provides for search rescue operation considers in the disaster is called the management process and comprehensive emergency team. The preparation and safe evacuation location, removing you to a different domain area that would be an nuclear attack. Develop communication plans on this local area should consider it part of the termination area obligation, provide emergency notify sufficient population segments. In that area is a 90 billion population number, is limited English proficiency personnel eligible to serve, lightly to encounter these linguistic problems. Limited English proficiency individuals for these individuals have no limitations on their individual English. The nature of their importance and their population of 90 billion. Their program people's lives are a little different from resources available here in the political subdivision area. There's urban and also rural areas. The sufficient population simply means the persuasive of the subsections, and they speak fluent English. Driver's license would be penalized. Your civil rights for your probably being a U.S. citizen would be penalized. And also your service for sovereignty program reform will be penalized. Your prior offenses on you 7 years and your records as a police officer, an agent, U.S. Marshal agent, FBI agent, your record, you'd be suspended for the prior services for what you did. You know what you did, you know who you are, and you know where you are. Now, the penalty of alcohol concentration less than 0.10 on the BAC alcohol and breathalyzer services. These penalties have emerged and risen on the service never ever will change, and also the services that provide for the electronic or change the DENY or save statements on those private offenses. Any of these expectations on RCW 46.61.0502 within parentheses 6. These convicted violations and have the prior offenses, they will never change. The order of the installments functioning, the ignition interlock systems are considered to be adopted and carried out for 24/7-day sovereignty program monitoring pursuit subsections. These persons install the functioning ignition interlock system in addition to burdens for 24 sovereignty programs, which have minor passengers and vehicle press services for 15 age and 15 and a half and up. Your first violation will be suspending your license till you're 18. Your service for your first services for your 15 and a half, 15, you will still private school and services for these modern devices. You'll have to walk until you're 18. You'll be refrained from consuming alcohol anywhere in the locations in the monitoring services. Your technology design and alcohol systems will be specified to customers for your monitorings, for your budget plan, service for your funds, alternate sources for these municipal penalties that be imposed on you as your cost and your waiver form you fill out. Your senses and your technical provision technology program will be affected as well for the car and vehicle and child care custody program associated in these creations for operating these duties. With their license and the amounts for proposals, specific purpose and departments shall be established and affected as well for custody programs, linked child care services, evidence regarding caring infants and young children, present bravery concerns and symptoms and trauma from the minor, and also the services that be done to Evanka and Donald Trump, and Melania Trump, and the original mother of Berta Barela, mother and father of a $2 billion contract for settlement. These services still own, you're looking, and then they changed their name and an entity, and they still own it. And the children bearing on the behavior concerns symptoms of trauma. Department contacts this entities enterprise child development, learning the programs, older opera child services and care, conceal. Now these concealed permits and services for the Route Association, also the Bravo military base, and also the service for the Dream Dreamliners, North Carolina. That's the governor, Mrs. Governor of North Carolina, South Carolina, Paris Island, and the Marine and Community Services, $9 billion. 90 billion. This population is also the appropriation made for the Navy Department, which is another billion, which is on the duties they function on the services here on July 1st of 2018. Transferred their credit in Department of Children and Youth and Family from the services by Felix Barela. These service transfer power duties and functions department carry over to the effect of July 1st of 2019. This department is hereby abolish these powers and duties and functions of these individuals and youth and family members. Reference Secretary of Department of Learning, Revised Code, the Constructive Secretary of Department of Children, Youth, and Families been overridden. The transfer to have welfare provisions for Department of Social Welfare CPS of Moses Lake, Washington on July 1st, 2018. All powers and duty of the Department of Social Health Services pertaining to child welfare in chapters 113.34, 13.36, 13.38, 13.50, 3.60, 3.64, 26.33, 26.44, 74.33, 74.138, 74.4B, 741.14C. Now, these Departments of Children, Youth, Family, Reps, and Secretary of the Department of Social Health Services revised of the Washington State Constitution and the Secretary of the Department of Children, Youth, Family, referring function, transfer, and inspection. Now, these appointment budget funds are required by transferring Director of Financial and Management, Certified Appropriations, and Finances affecting the Auditor, State Treasurer, and Secretary of State Kim Whitman. These funds appropriate account equipment and records in this certificates. July 1st, 2018. This is disposition, former vast statute sections collected from July 2018 till now. Table of dispositions of errors, and also the Uniform Criminal Extraction Act, and also the criminal insanity pleas, subsequent procedures, and also criminal appeals. These seizures and seizures, and also collection of disposition fines and costs, rewards, and also the Uniform Criminal Extraction and the drug trafficking, off-limit orders and the commitments, and also the evidence and verdicts and judgments, and also the gigantic stack of witness and out of the state uniform acts on dose and diversion. All these services, they come into the casino. You got the homeless, you got the displaced children, you got the rap and raving and psychotic individuals that are outside the urban city limits, skewering into these services here in the tents and Tent City in Seattle, Washington, walking on the property of Bill Gates Estates, walking on the water yacht farms and the ranch and Fraser yachts, walking on the Yankee bar, Yankee convicted felons and criminal convictions, Navy SEALs, Army Department, Navy Department, and militia active individuals coming on the property. These table of disposition acts, RCDS sections, Title IX, these counterfeiting, telecommunication crime, dueling, escape prisoner recapture, interference with court, conspiracy, burglary, and abetting offenses, brands and marks and crime relating, crime waves, bigamy, and assault. He's arsoned at City Hall and also the mayor's house, arsonist, Cimaron arsonist, and also Cimaron 5 arson and crimes and punishments and general provisions. This in here in Othello, Washington, Moses Lake, Kennewick, Richland, Pasco, and also Seattle, Tacoma. And also these units, they release these individuals into the telecommuting crime wave. And these have the table of contents, distribution form, RC sections, and Title 9. Table of distribution form, RC sections, victim of crimes, compensation assistance, eminent domain by City of Microsoft, eminent domain, Microsoft, eminent domain of Microsoft, and private ways of necessities and addition provision of 1 minute domains in Microsoft. These chapters and table contents are nuisances. These are all of them are nuisances in 7.48A.900. These are another nuisances, 7.48.901, and also the receivers on the ground ends, and also the powers of receivers and orderly part of claim admitted. This gigantic clientele of domains have condemnations of military purposes. These condemns of military purposes are cross-reference sections decoded in September of 2011. Commitments of military provisions to construction cross-reference sections coded in September 2011. Appointed of guardians at the time of minors, legend, capacities, and persons in protective of interest cross-reference section supported on 2011. We got the Chapter 9 table of the provisions on telecommunications crime, extortion, blackmail, and coercion, which is 9.33.01 extortion. These repealed from 1975. These are operation under color offenses, duty of custodian to services that they have, blackmail and extortion, ferryman, toll gate keeper. That would be Bellevue, Washington, Tacoma, Seattle. These tells persons and identity crimes, false presidencies, false representations, fire crimes related to firearms and dangerous weapons. These frauds and swindles. These petitions, misconduct, gambling commissions and services they do on internet cable services, patches, uniforms, leathers, ties, so whatnot. These violations penalties have a table of distribution RC sections continue on. Chapter 9.48 to 9.52 to 9.54. Label and slander, legislature crimes related to, loteries, malicious mischiefs and injuries and properties, and also the homicide and premeditated murders. As you can see, homicide and other persons used as judicial, 9.48.17, judicial homicide and public officer, 9.48.160, that would be 9.48.150, homicide 1 excusable, keeping explosive unlawful, protection yourself, protecting yourself from officers, and this you claim on processing or trying to prosecuting and services. They have the being attacked by officers or being willing by officers or officers discharging a weapon and couldn't get a straight eyeball or shoot you in the lung or head and you survived. It's called homicidal unexcusable. This service is a walk away ploy where you get to write on a piece of paper document, walks away, and it's called homicidal excusable. 9.48.150, keeping the murder first degree death penalty jury and jury box is 9.48.030. Murder in second degree is 9.48.040. Proof of death and killing a defendant and plotting premeditated murder, 9.48.020.